living water. Yahweh the Yahweh is the fountain of living water. Yahweh the Yahweh is the fountain of living water.
The Nation of Yahweh presents The Unfolding Light. Today's call is brought to you by Builders of the Highway Foundation, Yahweh Education Center, Temple of Brothers and Sisters of Goodwill, and the University of Yahweh Neo Jazz School of Music. And now for your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael.
Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to this edition of The Unfolding Light. I am your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael, along with Sister Tamar Boker Tov.
Boker Tov, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Well, praise Yahweh. It is a great day, and it's a greater day to be in Yahweh. Praise Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
Today on Unfolding Light, we will have Who is Yahweh by the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Directly after that, we'll have a keynote message from the master teacher, the founder of the Nation of Yahweh, the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And directly after that, we move into the part where we all take part in unfolding life, and we call it Power Talk. And now I invite you all to stand and face the east with outstretched hands as we open up this episode with a prayer to our Heavenly Father Yahweh. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from this heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults, and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths, are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuterka, Yadze Rizonka, King Bashemayim came by Aretz, Et Lekem Kukenu, Tang Lanu Hayam, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimos Soul King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayon, King Kal Senu, Minhara, Kilaka, Habamlaha, Veha Gibara, Veha Tefier, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And now, who is Yahweh? By the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that you should know, because it's the duty of the Son of God to proclaim his Father's name. And here you have a whole bunch of people going to church, 400,000 churches, and they don't know the name of the Father. They say such silly things like, Father, God, help me. Both of them titles. Father is a title, God is a title. Who's going to answer to that? The purpose of the coming of the Son is to reveal the name of the Father. That's who he prayed to, our Father, and he called his name. He said, hallowed be, holy be thy name. How can it be holy to you and you don't know it? Interesting, isn't it? There are a lot more interesting questions than that about that situation. But when you begin to read your Bible, as I call this to your attention, you will discover from the Old Testament of Genesis all the way through Revelations, it's all about the name of the Father. It's all about his name. But somebody got you calling some other kind of name other than the Father's name. And you don't know his name. And unless you learn his name, then you're never going to move from poverty to riches. And if you don't come into the knowledge of the name. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that you have the same God, have the same churches and the same names that white people have? I mean, have you noticed? You do. Our people have the same, right? Isn't it strange how God always answers white people's prayers? And black folks' prayers don't seem to be the same magnitude. You know, you say, well, I get my prayers answered. But why don't you ever get answered to be the ruler? I mean, you know, my people are always on their knees in front of white people asking white people to let them be accepted. Why do you need to ask white people for acceptance? Why don't you just ask God? Doesn't your God have enough power to make you accepted? Why can't you be the people that everybody else wants to be among? Why are you always running after somebody else to be among them? What's wrong with your God? Why do you have to go around always on your knees with your hat in your hand begging for a job from white people? Why don't your God just give you some jobs? Oh, I have to ask you some serious questions because white people move from poverty to riches every day. Huh? They come from Russia. They come from Europe. They come from England. They come from all over the world with nothing on the ship. Come and get in your neighborhood. Come with a buggy and a basket and a wagon and push it around in your neighborhood and move from poverty to riches out of your pockets. You live in the neighborhood and stay poor and just pray all the time. You prayed enough to rule all the world. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is the God of the Bible. He's the God of the Hebrews. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Yahweh is the man that beat up on Pharaoh. Y'all remember how he put plagues in Egypt? That was Yahweh did that. Yahweh is the one that when Pharaoh got real sassy, he drowned him in the Red Sea. That's Yahweh who did it. Yahweh is the man that when Daniel refused to bow down to another nation and quit facing the east and praying, when he refused to stop praying to his God, which was Yahweh, they said, well, we're going to put you in the lion's den and starve them. Threw him in the lion's den. Yahweh locked the jaws of the lion. Lions could do him no harm. Rulers got scared. Came and got Daniel out and made him a ruler. Right? I just want you to know who Yahweh is. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, all what you see and haven't seen. Okay. So who is Yahweh ben Yahweh? I am his son. I am his son. That's who I am. I am the son of Yahweh. I don't care who else is the son or who else they are. It makes me no difference. I'm not here tonight concerning myself with who is the son of who. I'm the son of Yahweh. I have to tell you who I am. Yahweh is my father. I am his son. What makes me his son? What makes me Yahweh's son is I do not have a will outside of his. I have no thoughts, no ideas, and no program outside of Yahweh. You'll find that all that I ever do, all that I've ever done, and all that I'm ever going to do is found right in the Bible, and it's traced right to his will. No exception. I take no credit for all that I have built. It's all in his name. Yuhei-Wafe. That's one of the things that make me his son. Also, I have no difference in his word. I only speak his words. Even the words I've spoken to you thus far, the principles of those words are all in the Bible. Every single one of them is found in the Bible. No exceptions. So I walk as he says walk. I talk as he says talk. I act as he says act. I do whatever he says do. I have no idea of doing it any other way. Those are the things that makes me his son. I obey his laws his statutes, his judgments, his commandments. That's why I'm successful. He said in his holy word that if I obey his law, statutes, judgments, and commandments, that he would make everything, all the works of my hand would prosper. So all the works of my hands is prospering. I'm telling you why. Now, what about you? You might say, well, if you're the son of Yahweh, can I be? Of course you can. Of course you can be the sons of Yahweh. Every one of you can be. Every one of you can be the daughters of Yahweh. All you have to do is like I do. Obey his will, just like I do. You automatically become. You believe on his name, then you have eternal life. There's no other name under heaven that you can be saved in other than God who created it. You can't be saved in no name but the name of the one who created everything. And he gave his son a name higher than all the angels in heaven. What's the name higher than all the names that the angels could possibly have? The Father's name. There can be no name higher than the Creator's. So the son has to come in his father's name. Just like if your name is Davis, then your father was named Davis. If your name is Smith, your father's name was Smith. My name is Yahweh, so my father's name is Yahweh. That's logical.
Praise Yahweh, pure logic. Everyone wants to be like his father, especially when your father is Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. And now a brief bio on the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yahweh ben Yahweh came to Miami, Florida alone in 1979 to become the spiritual leader and founder of the nation of Yahweh. Although he took a vow of poverty that same year, within 7 years, he guided the nation and those who follow his teachings and principles to amass an economic empire in the Miami area and throughout the United States worth over $250 million. Under his direction, the nation of Yahweh has grown to encompass disciples, followers, and supporters in over 1,300 cities within the United States and 16 foreign countries such as Ghana, Nigeria, Great Britain, Canada, and the entire Caribbean. He has established the curriculum for the University of Yahweh, for which he has received great acclaim in educational excellence. Hebrew Israelite academies, homeschools are based upon his curriculum even today. The moral teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh are bringing about a change in the lives of individuals by causing them to take a different approach to life. This approach is based upon the scripture, "It is more blessed to give than receive." Yahweh ben Yahweh has given that which cannot be measured in terms of monetary wealth. His gift to the world is the key to success in life, politically, educationally, economically, socially, and spiritually. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem.
That's what makes us different. I know Yahweh, and I'm here to introduce you to your Father. My Father is your Father. So why aren't you saying you his son? Why aren't you saying you're his daughter? Why aren't you saying you're his children? You must not know it. Now, there was a time in my life I was dead to this knowledge that Yahweh is my God. And I was dead to the knowledge that I am a Hebrew Israelite, chosen to rule forever. That was the time I didn't know that. I was absolutely dead. I'm talking about more dead than you are or ever have been. Can you imagine me being dumber than you? That's dumb, isn't it? Well, I was. I mean, can you think about some of the dumb mistakes you made? Anybody here ever made a dumb mistake? And you admit it to yourself? Who's in here never made a dumb mistake? Stand up. You never made one. See, look what we have in common. Being dumb. You know what the difference is between your dumbness and mine? I was more dumb than you. If you can imagine such. I was dumber than the dumbest ones of you. I was more blind than the blindest one of you. No one was as blind as me or as dumb as me. I was the dumbest thing ever come onto the planet, dumber than anything looked like you. It has to make you laugh to just think, you mean that someone was dumber than me? Yeah, I was. And this is perhaps the first time some of you heard me say that. You know what the difference is? Something happened to me one day. And no man can take credit for what happened. No man on the planet can take credit for what happened to me. I was raised from being dumber than you. To the state of godhood. And no man looked at me and said, you look like somebody who ought to be raised. I looked around at how dumb I was and how dumb everybody was above me. All my people, I knew that was pitiful. So I decided to become self-raised, just raise myself. And since nobody could teach me how not to be dumb, I decided to teach myself. So I'm self-taught and I'm self-raised. I was bound, and I decided, since no one among my people could set their bonds free, cut their bonds, or unbind themselves, I decided since none of them could, and when I asked them to unbind me, they couldn't, I asked them to. I asked bishops and deacons and preachers and all kinds of leaders, unbind me. I asked teachers, PhDs, every type of leader there is. I asked them pointedly, unbind me. I'm bound and I want to be free. And there was no man that could set me free. So I decided to set myself free. And I watched my people march and demonstrate, trying to get independence. And I had already asked them to make me independent, and nobody did. Nobody could. And then I watched them marching and begging another nation of people to make them independent, and the other nation didn't. So since they were begging someone else to make them independent, it means they couldn't make themselves independent. So I decided to make myself independent. So I'm self-independent. And I looked into the minds of my people and I saw the darkness. And I didn't see the light in any one of my people's minds. And I knew that my darkness was greater than all of that. So in asking them for light, I received none. I only saw the blind leading the blind. So since all that I saw in my mind was darkness and all I saw in my people's mind was darkness, I decided to become self-illuminated, self-luminous. And no one on the earth can deny that I'm illuminated. No one can deny that I'm luminous. No one can deny that I'm educated. No one can deny that I'm independent and self-sufficient. No one can deny my spirituality. No one can deny my works and my accomplishments. No one can deny that I'm working miracles that no one else has been able to work in our community. No one can deny. Yahweh. No one can deny that I'm the great I am. No one can deny that I am the Son of Yahweh, because I'm giving you the evidence of who it is responsible for what I am and who I am and how I am and why I am. No one can deny that I'm a faithful witness to my Father Yahweh's name. No one can deny that of all the works that I accomplished, all the miracles that I work, I put this name up. Yahweh gets the credit. No man can deny it. The difference between me and any other man that walks on the earth is men seek to glorify themselves. Men seek to have their own names glorified. But I alone seek only one man's glory and glorification, and that is Yahweh. Just thought I'd introduce myself to you, Jimmy. Myself is yourself. The difference is I know that, and I know that yourself is myself. And when you receive my spirit, you too will understand how important it is to keep the laws of Yahweh. What a blessing it is to give honor to the one who created you. You ask what's wrong with the world today? It is that men seek to solve the problems without the Creator.
Yahweh been Yahweh, because of you I exist.
Praise Yahweh. Wow. We were introduced, we learned who is Yahweh first. And now we were introduced to Yahweh ben Yahweh, the most sovereign Son, the first begotten of the dead. And indeed he was dead. According to his own words, he was more dead than any one of us. And he raised himself. He got a lot to talk about in Power Talk, because it's time for us to raise ourselves. He raised us. He brought us out of the grave. But then he said, greater works is your charge. And that's what time it is. So before we get to that, we do have a word from our sponsors. And then we'll come back with some community calendar events of our nation. Praise Yahweh.
Neo Jazz School of Music is an educational institute whose primary purpose is to rescue our children through music and the arts. Music and arts programs are scientifically proven to expand the intellectual capacity of the student in areas such as math and science. In addition, students of music and the arts make for well-rounded, productive members of society, no matter what career path they choose. Neo Jazz School of Music currently provides education and training to community youth in the greater New Orleans area.
Get it up! Yay! Oh my gosh, we accomplished life!
Yeah.
Praise unto Yahweh, and Yahweh be Yahweh.
Neo Jazz School of Music currently provides education and training to community youth in the greater New Orleans area.
Get it up! Yay! Oh my gosh, we accomplished life!
Yeah.
Praise unto Yahweh, and Yahweh be Yahweh. From the nation of Yahweh.
YahwehRadio.com.
So glad I'm with Yahweh.
YahwehRadio.com.
Step on into
YahwehRadio.com.
Let nobody
turn me away from Yahweh.
YahwehRadio.com.
Yahweh ben Yahweh is a great God and a great King above
YahwehRadio.com.
holy name. You ain't worthy. It's truly God. Yeah.
Hey, shalom and blessing, y'all. This is Author Jeremiah Yisrael coming to you live. Listen, I'm so excited because my ebook version of The Spiritual Significance of a Name is now available. You can go to my website today at www.jeremiahisrael.com. Now, this ebook is pretty much available anywhere and everywhere that ebook is sold. I'm so excited about that because, see, ebooks are sold internationally, but I would like for you to go to my website at www.jeremiahisrael.com, pick up your copy, or you can go ahead and download the ebook version of it. Whether you're on a plane, whether you're traveling, whatever you're doing, pick up this copy. It's only $4.99. It's not going to break your pockets and not going, break the bank. So go ahead and get the copy of this ebook now, today, $4.99. Go to jeremiahisrael.com and truly become blessed because it will truly put you on a path to defining your true purpose. Until next time, peace and prosperity.
Well, praise Yahweh. The Nation of Yahweh and the Yahweh Education Center invites our family in the Orlando area to visit Yahweh Education Center, conveniently located at 750 South Orange Blossom Trail, Suite 26, Orlando, Florida. We also invite you to join us for Live Talk Today, episode 11 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us for a live talk conversation with golf professional Eric Rue about the importance of youth sports in community. Again, that's Live Talk Today, episode 11, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can visit JeremiahYisrael.com for more information on how to join. So that's YEREMYAH Yisrael.com. The Nation of Yahweh and Builders of the Highway Foundation invites our family in the Miami area to visit Yahweh Education Center, which is located at 1065 Northwest 108th Street, Miami, Florida. Shabbat class will be held today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please also visit the Yahweh Education Center Miami for fellowship and fundraising activities. And we will have Shabbat classes also on the 1st, 3rd, and 4th Saturdays. But there will be one today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we're conveniently located at 1065 Northwest 108th Street, Miami, Florida. The Nation of Yahweh invites our family in the Riviera Beach, Florida area to join us for a study class every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you're interested in attending this class, please reach out to our family in the Riviera Beach, Florida area at area code 561-719-9527. 561-719-9527. Well, please join us this weekend for your health seminars. Saturday and Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Join us on Saturday for Being and Becoming Healthy, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the prescription for eternal life. The dial-in number for this teleconference is area code 732-434-3669. Again, that's 732-434-3669. And join us on Sunday for Being and Becoming Clean, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the prescription for eternal life. And the dial-in number for this teleconference is 339-207-6011. That's 339-207-6011. The Neo Jazz School of Music is excited to announce the continued development of the property located at 1701 St. Anthony Street in New Orleans into the Yahweh Life Center. The Neo Jazz School of Music has a mission to enact a positive change in the families of our community through an education in music and fine arts, cultural education, training, and diversity to the youth of our community. In carrying out this mission, we have developed properties in the greater New Orleans area that serve to support the enhancement of quality of life in underserved areas. The Yahweh Life Center will support the spiritual growth, economic development, political empowerment, educational enhancement, social and cultural development of our communities. Your support of YahwehRadio.com has been essential and critical to the development of the Yahweh Life Center in New Orleans. So please continue your support and tell everyone to visit YahwehRadio.com. That's YahwehRadio, YahwehRadio.com. And please also visit the Neo Jazz School of Music. And we do have a Neo Jazz School of Music New Orleans and Neo Jazz School of Music Miami. So we invite you to visit neojazz.org for more information about the Neo Jazz School of Music. And for more information about anything that we've announced today and all of the things that are taking place across our nation, visit thenationofyahweh.com. That's the nation of YHWH.com and the unfoldinglight.com. And you can also visit us at YahwehBenYahweh.biz on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Wow. There's a lot going on in the nation. There's a lot going on with the world today. And I certainly appreciate the message from the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh, how he introduced us to Yahweh. He introduced us to himself as the Son. And he also said, why you're not calling Yahweh your Father? Why you're not a son or a daughter of Yahweh? And you are. The fact is you are. But you have to wield the power of your Father. And that's just the fact of the matter. Your Father is Yahweh. So why would you ask anyone else to free you? Truly, why would you, go out your way to protest and march and demand, or even just beg someone else to free you, when you have the power within yourself to free yourself? What did our Father Yahweh say today? He said that he raised himself because he found nobody else that could raise him up. And he freed himself because he found nobody else that can free him. Well, we're ahead of the game. Yahweh Ben Yahweh freed us. And now that we're free, what are we going to do with our freedom? Are we going to continue to support our ex-captors, our former slave masters? Are we going to continue to work and serve in their industries and their businesses and their systems? Or are we going to be like our Father, creative, and create our own and be self-sufficient, independent? Yahweh Ben Yahweh is. Yahweh Ben Yahweh in the flesh demonstrated his superiority, his supremeness over the system by within the system creating a massive nation, wealthy nation that was more subjected to Yahweh than to the system. Were more dependent on Yahweh than the system. And see, that's the part. It's a mental thing. It's not just the physicality of it. If you loyal to your job and to your system, to this system and to this, you're a Democrat or you're a Republican and you vote in every election and all of that stuff, not talking about the ills of voting, because there is some positive things that can be accomplished with that. That's not the subject. The subject is your loyalty to Yahweh, your Father, or your loyalty to this world that Yahweh clearly tells us in the scripture, love not the world and the things thereof. And we know the penalty of that. Love Yahweh and serve Yahweh. That's the whole duty of man. And so now, do we want to do our duty, especially as the children of Yahweh? Do we want to be obedient children? In 1892, a group of Black men got together and started a grocery co-op business, a grocery store that became a multi-million-dollar grocery store within 1 year. This is 20 years after slavery. Group of bold Black men, children of Yahweh, stood up and came together and decided it wasn't for money.
They decided.
And it wasn't for money. Their motivating factor was not to make money. Their motivating factor was to feed the Black community. And that's exactly what they did. And as a result, the grocery store prospered so much so that the white grocery store in the area, the owner, started making noise about the blacks because they were direct competition to black folks spending their money with him. He had all the white folks, because white folks at that time would not spend a dime with black folks. Sounds familiar. All the way up into the 80s, the 90s, and I'm sure we can talk about things today where people will not spend money with black businesses. Not the way they, well, put it this way, it's gotten better, not worse. And at the time, it was nobody spending a dime with black businesses, but black folks. So this white man had all of the white business, and he was jealous because the black people were taking their money to the black grocery store. And so not only did he make a whole big stank about it, a lot of noise about it, he got him together, a posse, a mob, and they went in there and they grabbed the black men, drugged them out of there, killed them, burned the grocery store to the ground. And some of the co-op owners that wasn't there, that didn't get killed, they had to flee the state forever and leaving everything behind. But see, when we came together and did something, it was always successful. That's one story. I can give you tons of stories of how when we came together and began to build for ourselves, the same industries that we work for. You work for a car industry, we got together and built our own car industry. Do you know a black man had a car industry, had a car company making cars? But that's not the subject right there. I don't want to stray too far. The point is, if we did a grocery store co-op today and it was a multi-million-dollar business, no matter who was threatened by it, they will not come up in here and pull us out and lynch us and burn down our grocery store. That will not happen today. See, back then they didn't have the protection of Yahweh. Today, we have divine protection of our Father. He will not allow that to happen to our businesses as long as we under his law and are righteous. So we need to start getting it. Black Wall Street, that was a fraction of what we can do today in our own communities, setting up our own communities, building our own communities. We've done it before. Right after slavery, we had no community, we had nothing. And we built communities. And you telling me we can't do it today with the resources we have today, with the intellectual prowess that we have today, with our divine understanding of the will of Yahweh today, we can't do greater works than we did back in the turn of the century in the 1800s and the 1900s, 1920s and the 1940s and on and on.
Yes, and you made an incredible reference to a scripture that I just want to lift back out. This comes from 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And what we're demonstrating and what we are personally, individually, and collectively experiencing is our dependency on the things and the conditions of this world. And where we are in today's society, we have depended on the things of this world to meet our needs, our food needs, our personal needs, our, healthcare needs. And we have demonstrated time after time after time. And our most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh came with a message today that is really clear. When we decide that we want to be free, if we decide we want to be independent, when we wake up and self-realize and self-manifest these realities, we create heaven. We've demonstrated
We've done it before.
Time after time after time. If you do a little bit of research into the history of Black entrepreneurship. And we're speaking about this because that's the way they decided to label us, right?
Right.
And we took hold of those labels. But Yahweh Ben Yahweh has come to restore us to our true history, our culture, our language, and divine principles, so that these high principles are our protection in our businesses, in our practice, in our day-to-day lives. So, but if you, going back to the point, if you do just a little bit of digging into the economic prowess of the so-called Black man of America, you'll see time after time after time after time where when there was oppression, our response was collective action and developing heavenly and godly conditions for ourselves. Praise Yahweh.
Well, it's a fact that when they didn't let us be part of their world, we created a superior world. And that's not just talk. You know, when you think about what is commonly referred to as Black Wall Street, that was Oklahoma. I think it was Greenwood, Oklahoma. They had a town, a Black town of businesses, and everybody in the town was prosperous. Everybody in the town was cared for, you know, and it was a utopic society. You know, there was no crime, Black on Black crime in this town. You know, I mean, you know, these are the things that people don't mention. There was no poverty or no homelessness in this town at all. And there was no burglaries and thefts and muggings and robberies in this town at all. This town was so prosperous. They had banks. They had over 30-something restaurants in this town in the 20s, 1920s. They had banks. They had barbershops. They had industries. They had printing. They had everything industry that was on the planet at that time they had in this town. Owned and operated by Black folks, us. So much wealthy that they were loaning money to white folks.
And even to this day, in our current understanding and our current personal experience of this type of economic development, Yahweh Ben Yahweh came with an economic strategy that by no far is to be unmentioned. You have to really look at the greatness of the work that our Father demonstrated to us, because he took us from a morally dead condition. We had no knowledge of this unity at this point in history. And at those points in histories, we had a lot in common.
Well, even to the point of, at that time, we were not allowed to do what they wanted, what they were doing. So we did it for ourselves. And the point is, moving forward, soon as they got understanding, because we did it after they destroyed that, we did it again, and we did it again. And they kept destroying what we was doing, to the fact that they came up to the 60s and said, y'all need to just integrate with us. And that killed Black businesses. But Yahweh Ben Yahweh came after that and demonstrated to us, despite of that, despite of your mind, despite of your mindset, if you free yourself from them, you can do it again.
Praise Yahweh. He decided. Now, I wanted to take a small step into the definition of the word decided from the dictionary.com basics research. Decided is an adjective, which means in no way uncertain or ambiguous, unquestionable, unmistakable. Number 2, free from hesitation or wavering, resolute, determined. Wow. So in Yahweh deciding that he is going to be self-sufficient, it was in no way unambiguous what was needed to become self-sufficient. We needed to be able to feed ourselves. We need to be able to educate ourselves. Yes, sir.
Well, the number one thing that he decided in freeing himself, that he had to liberate his mind.
Yes, sir.
From our captors. And that's where you are at. That's where we're all at. We have to liberate our minds, because we can talk the talk, but until we establish the walk, like the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh established the walk, he separated, he gave away all his wealth, and then he created wealth out of understanding and the principles of Yahweh. And he generated wealth for his followers, because he didn't generate wealth for himself. He proved that you can be a rich man and own nothing. You can prove that you can be a king and own nothing. But that's a whole nother subject for a different day. What he did was he liberated his mindset from his captors, from our captors, from the slave master's mindset to go to work and get a job for me and serve me while I sit on the beach, sipping Mai Tais or whatever. You work in my business till you die.
Well, that goes,
and your children and your children's children.
Well, that goes back to what the first portion of the definition of the word decided. Yahweh being Yahweh was in no way uncertain. So any uncertainties that was in our life, in his life, he addressed that. He went and educated himself. He went and read the library, for goodness sake.
The whole library, the entire library.
The entire library, for goodness sakes. And educated himself on all things so that he could be apt, in no way uncertain or ambiguous, without question, unquestionable, unmistakable. So educating that path and that journey to self-learning is a real critical point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so there we are, people, family. It is once again time for us to pool our resources and our talents and our intellect and build our own society, just as we did in the past. They are, the powers that be are separating. They even beating the drum to a civil war. And see, this is not a physical war. It's all about mental. It's a word war. It's about what your mindset is loyal to. So don't get spooked out of thinking that we got to go get some guns. We got to fight. They're going to be fighting. This fight is in your mind. You can be labeled anything, but what are you? That comes from within. You raise yourself up. Yahweh ben Yahweh already raised us out of our grave. So we way ahead of the curve. Now it's time for us to do our own thing by collectivism, not individualism, collectivism, pooling our resources, redirecting our wealth back to ourselves. That's all we did in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street, and places, Greenwood and Hayti, North Carolina, and Claiborne Avenue in New Orleans, 4th Avenue in Birmingham, all these business districts, and there's so many more I can't even mention, that we did our own thing and built high-rise big buildings, and and we were dead when we did that.
Imagine us with the consciousness of ourselves. Praise Yahweh.
But we can't focus on differences.
We have to focus on the things that we have in common.
What we did in the past, we focus on our needs, the needs of the many of the community. We didn't focus on individual wealth. It wasn't about my money on my mind and my mind on my money. It was like my money on my mind on my community and how I can feed every child in my community. And that's where my money is going. So I can help. No elderly in my community would not have what they need, And these are the things that we have to think about. This is the ascension of a mindset that our open enemy, which is referred to as the white man, but we know it's not white people. We know that. It's wickedness in high places that even with the term, even the term the white man get us to focus in the wrong place, because you focusing on skin color. And our father taught us about the skin color game. That's
Yes,
a
sir.
game. It ain't the white man. It's these wicked rulers, it's wickedness, it's Satan mindset in people, regardless of their ethnic affiliation.
Praise
Because the
Yahweh.
devil's in every ethnic affiliation.
Mhm.
So let's get that straight. Let's not get on this color game. But the point is, when we focus inwardly on our communities prosper. When we serve other communities and we be individual, then we have no community. You wonder why they haven't given us reparations? Because we're not unified in anything. If we were unified nations, we could demand it. But it ain't even about that.
Well, I want to just point out how Yahweh ben Yahweh in today's, and the theme of this whole message, which we played the first part last week, he pointed out to us the things that we had in common. He took us away from the mindset and the ideas of things that we don't have in common or things that we disagree on. And he really narrowed the focus to, we all have something in common. We've been lied to. We've been,
oppressed by the same people.
We've been oppressed by the same people. And it's a lot, and how deep the oppression goes depends on how
lied to by the same
how
people.
conscious you want to get. But the reality, and we're supposed to be all the way conscious, but I really appreciate how Yahweh ben Yahweh hones our focus on what really matters the most.
That's the point.
And then brings us back to a point of action on how we can really address that issue. So I thank Yahweh ben Yahweh for his exceptional way of presenting his divine mind to us, because without that focus, we could easily get distracted and go in different directions on things.
Absolutely. There's so many things that we can focus on. When you're fighting a war, you don't have one battlefront. You have multiple battlefronts, and you have to fight on each one of those battlefronts. And each one of those battlefronts are different, different terrain, different territory, different weather, different everything. And you have to be diverse. So when the scriptures say about the nation of Yahweh breaking into pieces, those pieces are doing battles on different fronts, because it's a word war.
Yes,
the war is words. They say words and they censor your words. They only want their propaganda to be heard. And so the war is, well, your truth or the truth can be heard if people stand up and say it. Word of mouth is the most powerful tool there is. That's why they can't Satan has been revealed and he can't stay in darkness. That's why so many of us understand the truth about what's going on today. So many of us see through Satan's lies and deception that he's deceived the whole world. The scriptures plainly say Satan deceived the whole world. That's irrelevant to us building the new society. When I say new, there's no new thing under the earth. We lived for hundreds of thousands of years in utopic paradise on this planet before Satan was cast down and we were kicked out of the garden. Even after that, we built magnificent, beautiful cities of peace like Old Jerusalem before the calamity.
And as we have just recently come out of our feasts, our feasts are times that are indicators for us to remember. And these times and periods of reflection for remembrance are really critical so that we can have that understanding of our power. And Yahweh ben Yahweh has restored us to our power of ourselves. So let's really get active on it. Now, I do have one update on an announcement. There will not be a class in the Yahweh Education Center, Miami today, but the classes will be resuming on the 1st and 3rd of every month. So we'll come back here with more updates as they come in, but no class today. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
So we're now at that point.
We're at that point. The conversation is getting thick. It's all about business. And I would like to encourage our family, as we making comments, remember the message that the Most Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us today. And remember the theme of what we're talking about today. We're talking about collectivism. We're talking about cooperating in cooperative businesses that can span, that can be all over at the same time. It doesn't have to be in one geographical location. We can have co-ops that serve multiple communities. And that's the thing. We're talking about building. We're talking about positivity. We talk about high-mindedness. We're talking about coming together and pooling our resources. So let's keep it on those tips.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise
Well,
Yahweh.
we have several callers waiting.
Praise Yahweh.
Caller with your line currently unmuted, and caller with your hand raised. We got you coming next. But caller with your line unmuted, you are now live for Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, praise Yahweh. I want to give all praises to Yahweh and recognition to his humble servant, the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh. I'm loving the conversation this morning and what we're talking about. Our Father came with a great message this morning. But first and foremost, I want to just say kudos to you, sis, for the launch party, the virtual launch party yesterday. I wasn't able to make it, but I'm pretty sure it was awesome.
Praise Yahweh.
Yes, indeed.
And I was beating myself up too. And I'm like, man, I think I missed it.
Oh, Toda, brother. Praise Yahweh.
No, we have to support one another. That's the beauty of us growing as a nation. But I just want to share, like I say, we on a great topic. We're talking about some wonderful things when we're talking about, when we exploring the mind of our Father. And the first thing Yahweh said in the intro this morning is that he will rise again. And I kind of want to just go a little bit into that. And that statement by itself is powerful because one can receive it from a spiritual connotation, from a physical, or they can receive it in both ways. If you're looking at it spiritually, we're talking about the character of Yahweh will rise. The nature of Yahweh will rise. The mind of Yahweh will rise. And if we are looking at it from a physical standpoint, one is considering the body, the image that he displayed. However, when we look at it on a spiritual and physical plane, we understand that he dwells in us, that we must display his character and nature. We are that physical presence of him in the flesh. And just to identify that, by going to 1 John 3:2, it says we must individually become like him. And actually it reads, behold, now we are the sons of Yahweh, and it do not yet appear what we should be. But we know that when he should appear, we should be like him, but we should see him as he is. Now, Yahweh say he was self-raised. So as a nation, we must become self-raised without outside influence. We have to remember that the world don't know no good. You see why I went there?
They don't know.
I see that.
They don't know no good.
So I just want to say, thank you, Yahweh, for raising up himself in the image of Yahweh ben Yahweh to teach us the meaning of self-independence, or should I say the meaning of self and what we have to endure as being the self-image of him. Praise Yahweh, and Toda for allowing me to share.
Praise
Yahweh. Toda.
I thank Yahweh for your comment, adding on to the richness of our conversation, because this devil don't know no good.
He don't know no good.
The good that he know, he eschew. He runs away from good. He don't want to have nothing to do with good. It's called these wicked people and the do-gooders. Well, we the do-gooders, so we, opposite of them.
Praise Yahweh. Well, we do have another caller with their line unmuted. Caller with your line unmuted. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom, family. This is Akazia out of San Antonio, Texas. One thing that I picked up from it is train. And Proverbs 22:6 tells us to train up a child in the way he shall go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Mm.
So when it comes to us coming together collectively as business owners or as children of Yahweh, or just, devoted students of the principles of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, we are training up our minds as well as our children, if we have children, because we're all children of the Lord Yahweh Ben Yahweh. So this is going to help us to gather everything that we need to from the tree of life to successfully plant more tree of life in the brains and in the minds of the youth, and even on a bigger scale, the community that we build, or even the community that's around us, because we are the example, as the elder Yirmiyah just pointed out very, very graciously. 1 John chapter 3, verse 2, we are to be like our Father, and our Father came to teach us how to be like him. So he's training us up so that when we are old enough in this truth, we'll know how to act, and we won't depart from it. So that for allowing me to share.
Praise Yahweh. And thank Yahweh for you sharing. Thank Yahweh for the wisdom and the understanding that he is imparting upon us today and every day in our studies. Praise Yahweh.
And we do have another caller who was trying to get unmuted. I believe that was, there you are, Brother Kazriel. Is that you?
Shalom, sis.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk, brother.
Shalom, Brother Luke. How are you today?
We wonderful.
Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Brother Luke, you really touched I identified with some things that you said this morning when you began to talk about how the men came together and formed a grocery business. And they did that, I think you said it was 2 years after slavery. And then
20 years.
20 years after slavery, thank you.
Yeah.
And then there was a group of people who came and destroyed what they did out of jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy when your conversation evolved to the fact that it's not the skin color game, it is wickedness that drove those individual people, that group of people, to come and destroy the good works of those men. And of course, you also spoke about how those men who did what they did to develop the cooperative grocery business, they were not, at least as far as we know, doing it in Yahweh the way we've been taught to do it in Yahweh by Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And when those things were said, it caused me to understand that, okay, over the past, I would say 6 years for me, but a lot longer for other people, in this movement, the Hebrew Israelite movement, the Yahweh movement, the development of that understanding of that land, that understanding of Yahweh as God, and the way of thinking, which is a superior way of thinking. Well, personally, in experiencing the actual development of wisdom in us, or those of us who seek to demonstrate true righteousness, that learning curve of wisdom is phenomenal. Because right now, today, there are conversations that we are having, and there are topics that are being discussed that just 5 or 6 years ago, 4 years ago, okay, those conversations would have been not as well accepted as they are today. However, those topics are necessary for us to move to where we're going in that learning curve of literally demonstrating the express manifest image of Yahweh Ben Yahweh as a group of righteous people. These conversations have to take place, and our efforts are global efforts. that wickedness. When the Bible says that the whole earth has been deceived, we are literally snatching away the underpinnings. We are breaking down and taking away the ignorance that has been used by the great deceiver to have people walking in darkness. It has nothing to do with skin color or anything like that. Tribalism plays a significant part because now we can go into the room and say who we are, and we're not trying to become someone other than ourselves. But in the end, it's all about those who seek righteousness and good. And we are at the tip of the spear, so to speak. Having been the most broken down, we are the ones who lead the way for others. We are the example for them to follow. And to see all of that happening is a joy to my heart. It's a blessing to actually be there while it's happening. It's a blessing. So praise Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and all the other Yahwehs, and all my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, all good people and all righteous people. And let's keep on doing it. Let's keep getting the job done, come together when we can, as we can. And I wish success for a righteous success, and that the good desires of all of our hearts are made are given to us. So have a great rest of the day. Shabbat
Praise
shalom.
Yahweh.
Shabbat shalom. Thank Yahweh for you, your comments, and your wisdom, and your knowledge and understanding.
Yes, sir.
As well as I thank Yahweh for the vibe of our program today. We all positive.
Energy.
We want to keep it positive. We want to keep it moving forward, because this is that great coming together. It's time for us to grow up as children of Yahweh and produce those great works that we've done so many times while we were dead. Let's see what we do while we're alive.
Yes,
Praise
sir.
Yahweh.
And we do have another caller. I believe this is our brother Yafo Self from right here in New Orleans. Brother Yafo Self Bokato.
Shabbat
Praise
shalom.
Yahweh.
Welcome to Power Talk.
Shalom. Evidently, Yahweh wants me to say this because I unintentionally unmuted myself, but I kind of been meditating on Genesis 2:8, and it talks about Yahweh planting a garden in Eden, and he placed the man Adam in the garden, and in that garden there was all the economic riches of the world. See, Yahweh put us in charge of the finance. Yahweh Ben Yahweh brought that out in one of his lessons. He put us in charge. So as in redeeming us, he's bringing us back into that same position as we were in the garden. And I was kind of meditating on that. And I didn't mean, I guess Yahweh meant me to say that. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
This ain't no strange thing for family that we're coming together, because it's been prophesied that we gonna come together, and the bottom, of course, we've been on the bottom, we'll be at the top. And guess what, family? We will rule as God, as Israel, because that's our name.
Yes.
We were made to do this, family. We were made by Yahweh to do this. So let's be encouraged. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
And I just want to add to his comment. Praise Yahweh. Thank you, Yahweh, for your comment. And I want to add to your comment, because in our dead state, we did it multiple times. I mean, it ain't like we hadn't did this before.
Time after time
after time. But now it's time.
Praise Yahweh. And that's why Satan's trying to bring us. He knows. See, our enemy knows what we were made to do. So throughout the years that we developed certain nations, and even in West Africa, when we were there, we developed nations, and they destroyed it because the devil knows what we were made to do. Yep. But now, family, the King has come. Yahweh Ben Yahweh came to resurrect us, and it's going to happen. I feel it all in my soul, in my spirit. Praise Yahweh.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Yes,
Praise
sir.
We're all excited, just as excited as you are, brother. And I have a little bit of a testimony. I was consulting with this co-op developer, and one of the things that is critical is, one of the critical points he lifted out to me was a key to developing co-ops isn't what business or what industry, it's the relationship. And what we have in our hands, family, is Yahweh Ben Yahweh came and laid the foundation, the core for us to have collective action. He gave us our relationship back one to another. At one point, we were divided against ourselves, but Yahweh Ben Yahweh came and restored ourselves. So the success of a co-op hinges on the relationships of the individuals engaged in the business. A cooperative is just another business.
That's it.
Make no mistake about it. But what separates and divides a co-op from other businesses are the principles by which those businesses are set upon. The practice the intentional practice that you deploy in being good, righteous, ethical, and moral in your business practice. In my study of co-ops, I saw the parallel of Yahweh's divine business principles in some of these practices. And it just led me to go deeper into my understanding, because now there are quote unquote federal policies that make cooperatives more favorable. There are some states that have local policies that allow you to create cooperative businesses and let you strategize economically. So make no mistake about it, a cooperative is just another business. But what we have to begin to do is create business enterprises with strategic moves in mind. And we have to go into the space of educating ourselves about what are the ways that we can make those moves. And so I thank Yahweh for allowing me to get into a space where I can learn about some or part of a strategy, but there are many strategies out there, family, and we all hold a key. We have the knowledge because time after time after time, we've demonstrated our capacity, our ability to achieve this. It's no hidden thing. We just have to remember.
Praise Yahweh. And that's where we are, people. That's where we are, family. That is the new day. That is the today. Today is the day that we decide that we're going to produce all of the great things that we've ever done in the past perpetually. You know, when we can go all the way back to Jerusalem. We can go all the way back to when Abraham had his wealth.
Yes.
You know, we can go all the way back to, when Noah was prosperous in his day and was able to employ thousands of men in a 120-year venture of building.
These men worked 120 years
on a project.
He must have had some excellent work conditions
too. So, and the technology, that's another subject.
Well, let me
that's another subject.
I mean, I guess I want everybody to kind of do a little reflection, because imagine being in some of the jobs we've been in for more than 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, let alone 120 years. I just thought that was a good point for reflection.
Well, and then to think about it is that we've accomplished so many marvelous things in the past. And today we're supposed to be so well and far technologically advanced. And even with our most educated generation of our people in this country, when we get the notion, when we stand up and decide to raise ourselves together in a collective effort to secure our future and to rescue our future and to rescue ourselves from a life of servitude in slavery to that man that we call boss on the job. You know, even when we have our own businesses, sometimes we have to be a slave to that business. I remember being in a mall, my store was open 7 days a week. And when things got rough, I had to work that business. And I look around the mall, and most of the business owners that own businesses, they are married to that business. They work it every single day, especially the foreigners who can't let anybody look at their money. You know, they control their money. So they're there every single day from open to close. And I said, this is not a life. I don't want to be married to this business. if I have to be here 24/7 the rest of my life to have this business, then now, no, thank you. No, it's about open up industries that serve our community and to enrich our communities, that we can enrich ourselves. You know, and I'm not talking about getting money rich. I'm talking about enrich ourselves through, you know, like I like to paint. I love to play and perform music. These are my, you know, I like to write. You know, these are things that I want to enrich myself with.
And we all have books we need to write.
Absolutely.
So praise Yahweh. And studies we have to continue. So being able to be free, liberated, to learn of Yahweh's divine mind is the space that we want to occupy.
Absolutely.
And deciding, you know, I just looking into the etymology of the word decided, of course, it's rooted in decide. When you look in the etymology, the Etymology Online Dictionary, decided is an adjective which means resolute, free from hesitation or wavering. This, you know, as in decided a victory is one of the realities which is not in doubt. So we want to be decided towards deciding victory. Now, when you look at further into the word decide in the etymology from the 14th century, to settle a dispute, determine a controversy. There is a controversy at bay.
There's a controversy in the land.
There is a controversy in the land, and we have to make a decision for liberation. There is an oppressive agenda.
Absolutely.
That is at the root of the controversy, that you are unable to commit your time, your energy, and your spirit to worshiping and serving Yahweh, free from oppression.
It is a totalitarian situation that is brewing to the point of everybody got to do exactly as we say, or else.
We must decide to serve Yahweh. And deciding to serve Yahweh means following the journey that the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh laid out for us. We do have a caller.
Well, Yahweh said, if you acknowledge him in all your ways, he shall direct your path. He didn't say he might. He will direct your path.
Praise Yahweh. Caller with your line unmuted. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am a new, I don't know how to say it, new listening to you all.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I listen to you all, the heavier my heart gets. Because
brother, are you there?
I hope we didn't lose brother.
Yahweh.
Okay, brother, we lost you just for a small bit of what you were saying. So
yeah, the phone rung. Well, I never had an alternative in the nation of Yahweh until a couple of weeks ago, until I started listening to you all. So my heart is very heavy, but now I see an alternative of who's doing the will of Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
And reaching out. And I think I'm converted.
Praise Yahweh.
To the will of Yahweh. I'm not new in Yahweh, but I never had an alternative. But now I see an alternative, and I want to get closer to this family. So if I can get some information, either be able to talk, because I'm not a public speaker. It's just that my heart was so heavy, I had to unmute my phone.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yes, sir, brother. I would make sure that Sister Tamar gives you my number offline, and
yes,
you
sir.
can call me and we can talk anytime you like, brother. This is a family, and we welcome all our family home to the family. And it's all about us coming together and doing the will of Yahweh.
And being a family, praise
and being
Yahweh.
a family.
And brother, I'm going to ask you to take down this number, because this is our office number, and you can call this number.
Yes, ma'am.
It's 504 298
298. Okay.
5299. That's
Yes.
504-298-5299.
Praise
I def-
Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
And
Praise Yahweh for you all, because I never had an alternative since 1984 and wasn't trained to look for any other alternative until I see both sides. And I see the side that are doing the will of Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise
Shout out,
Yahweh.
brother. And what's your name, brother, if you don't mind
And where
sharing?
you calling from?
My name is Mikael Israel, and I'm calling from Hinesville, Georgia.
Praise Yahweh.
Welcome home, brother.
I thank Yahweh for you. I thank Yahweh for your energy. You just energized us to be more righteous, because that's what we're about. It's all about us doing that. We're not perfect, but we're all about it. And that's all we're about.
Yeah.
We got to get it together and come together with our family, our holy family, who are set aside for the will of Yahweh, who are willing to do the will of Yahweh, despite all other ridicule and criticism and deceptions. Praise Yahweh.
Yes, praise Yahweh. You know, I look out and I see the will of Yahweh being done over here, whereas over here, everything is just being collected and being sit on and not growing. You know, if you can't register in 2 months, you can't come and get anything, and nothing is going out any other way.
Well, praise Yahweh, brother. We do have another caller.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, thank you, brother. We will talk more.
We will.
Praise
Indeed.
Yahweh.
I look forward to hearing from you, Brother Mikael.
Yes,
Praise
ma'am.
Yahweh. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. And I did just see a caller with their line unmuted. Caller with
And we are at the last minute, so please keep it brief, because there's one announcement we want to make at the end. Did you find a caller?
No, sir. I do not see that caller.
We will definitely endeavor to get you on.
There we go. There you go. Call with your line unmuted.
And you have a lot of feedback.
There you go.
Hey.
Praise Yahweh. You are live.
Praise Yahweh.
Who do we have the pleasure of speaking? Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Praise Yahweh, be Yahweh. My name is Sister Kaba, and I'm calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I just want to say I love you all so much for doing and keeping the will of our Father. You know, I've been searching for so long, and I think I have came to the end of my journey, you know, since I have been listening to you all program. I haven't been saying anything. I've just been listening and joining in when I can. And I'm loving everything that you all doing, and I just want to know, how can I get closer? Just like my brother said, I've been, you know, I've been in this camp, that camp, and you know, and it just seemed like it wasn't total will of Yahweh. They was my family. They still my family, but they looked like they had a little self. I don't know how to say this. When you're doing things for yourself and not Yahweh, I don't know what word I could say to. But anyway, that's in the past.
We understand. We understand.
And we want to go ahead, sister.
And I just want to get close. I want to be a part of this. I want to do everything that I can to be a part of this and raise Yahweh up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because it's not one. I don't think it's no Hebrews here but me.
Wow. Well, we're gonna seek to do something about that.
We gotta do something about that.
I thank you. We are at the end of this broadcast, and so
and thank you for your comment.
Thank you for your comment, and please tune in next week for more. I did want to have.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did want to make sure we mentioned before we close out that we have an ongoing fundraiser that is geared to rescue our future. And these are the things that everybody can help out with. You know, you don't have to give $1 million. If you give $1, it's much appreciated because all of the proceeds are going to these programs. And we didn't have enough time to mention it today, but I'll go over briefly. Our first phase was a micro grant program for young entrepreneurs of our nation that are doing the will of Yahweh. We want to put some money into their hands and some technical support in business that they don't teach us, but that Yahweh Ben Yahweh taught us these business principles. So we want to develop an institute, a nation building institute. We are developing it, and that's the second phase. And we did reach our preliminary goal during the Feast of Tabernacles for our micro grant program. So that program is in the works, and it will be more information about that coming up very soon. Our second phase, we're raising funds, and we're well on the way of reaching goals in that phase. So anybody want to help, make sure you go to that number that you can see on your screen and donate $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $100, $100,000, whatever you can give, whatever Yahweh, the Spirit of Yahweh puts on your heart that you need to give, even if it's like $1 a month, it's fine. We gonna put it all to building our nation and rescuing our future. That's what it's all about, and everybody will know exactly what's going on with everything.
You summed that up very excellently. Awesome job, Brother Wood.
Well, this do bring us to the end of our episode, this episode of Unfolding Light. That was the final thought. Sister Tamaya.
I did want to share that all who are interested in staying tuned, please go to the nationofyahweh.com. That's the nation of YHWH.com. Scroll down the page and click on the link where it shows you how to subscribe to the newsletter, and put your email address in that form so you can stay up to date. We will make sure you get all the new information. So praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. And that brings us to the conclusion of this episode of The Unfolding Light. Please join us next week for The Unfolding Light. And we are in development of our Power Talk podcast. So that will be coming very soon, very, very soon. And see you next week. Now I invite you all to stand and face the east with outstretched hands as we close out this episode of The Unfolding Light with a prayer to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuterka, Yadze Rizonka, Kim Vashemayim, Kain Ba'aretz, Elekem Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kratienu, Kimo Sasokin, Gamanatnu, Lakotim Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Mihara, Kilika, Hamamlaha, Veha Gibera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And always remember, Yahweh loves you. Yahweh Ben Yahweh loves you. And so does the nation of Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Gotta tell you something. You see, it's a blessing to be living on the earth today in a time when the Son of God is here. It's just a blessing to know that He is the Son of God, that He's here to rid the earth of all of this killing and stealing and all of this drugs and all these crazy things that's going on today. You know what I'm saying? No more a word about losing out the mind. Cause you see, God, Yahweh is here now. And there is no doubt that it's smooth